Hi, friend.
In my coffee.
You got yours? Oh, you're getting. Hey, Tabs.
Hello.
Hey, Debs.
Hello.
Showed up without beauty in it.
You look gorgeous.
Zhuzhin.
I've showered, but I'm in my ripped, comfy, but you can't see it, right? Like it cuts off here.
Yeah.
It's here.
How do you put the filter on this thing?
No idea.
Oh,
I can never figure
choose
it out.
filter.
It's the up
Is it
arrow
gonna
next
take
to
away
your
my
camera.
exactly 3 pimples in a row like the Big Dipper?
loud.
Yeah.
Hey, Kimmy.
Oh, I
just
like
thought it was
that little
weird.
bun up there, Kimmy. Tight twister. Jamie, you just did the mustache hair. When did we talk about that?
In the
Quirks. Sorry,
Quirks.
guys. Yeah. Okay, go.
Hello and welcome to Table for Five with no reservations. Take a seat at the table for a fresh, sweet, salty, tart, and pleasantly bitter conversation.
Thank you for taking a seat at the table. Tonight, we're going to talk about how tired is the mom in you. It's been a week. We all are feeling drained and tired and burnt out. So we are going to chat about it.
There's literally an alarm going off, which just speaks to the fact that we're all tired and we need systems to survive.
Yes.
I say leave it.
So tonight, we have Jen,
Hello.
Jamie,
Hello.
Kim,
Hi.
Rachel,
Hey.
and I'm Tabitha. Miss Jennifer Dunn's going to start us out tonight with how tired she is this week. What's going on in your world?
Oh boy. Hi, ladies. Well, I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of whining about being tired. I'm tired of everything being so hard for my kid. I'm tired of the thousands of dollars of therapy bills. I'm tired of arguing with my kid every step of the day. Yeah, I'm tired. Yeah, it's been a week. We've all had it.
Yes.
Yeah, just tired of being tired.
What about you, Rachel?
I was talking to Jen earlier and I said, part of the suck of this layered situation of our lives is that so many times you're strained in a financial way because it costs money to get help. You're strained in terms of relationships. We've talked all about that. Like you're strained in terms of time in a day. I am just tired in such a deep soul way that it isn't tired where you go to sleep a little earlier. It isn't tired where you sleep in on Sunday.
Mhm.
It's far deeper than that. Like my
Tired.
life force is less than. I feel it deep. I mean, in terms of like sleep tired, we barely get much. I should be used to it by now. I was a non-sleeper prior. Like I've prepared for this, but it's like not at all that. I'm tired of being everything. I'm just tired. Like Jen said, you just have to work so hard to get through every second of the day. And it's just a lot. Like I'm bargaining
Yeah,
for
and
help. I'm bargaining with her. I'm bargaining about the chips. I'm bargaining about for God's sakes, everything. I'm tired.
But on top of that, over time of not sleeping, I literally become a bitch. Like I get agitated. I have just nothing left to give. Like that physical exhaustion is mentally exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
What
it's
about
real.
you? Oh, go ahead, Rachel. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was given an amen.
Oh, what about you, Miss Ramos? Jamie?
Yeah, I'm just over it. I think. And I mean, right now I feel like for me, school starts next week and going through all that stuff. And that's always like such a trigger. It's just so annoying. We're starting at a new school. We're starting in kindergarten. And I just like explaining everything to everyone again and having to like see what this person's going to like feel about this or how they're going to look at me when I try to explain that my kid wakes up from 3 to 5 pretty often. So he's going to be tired. So don't tell me he's tired 5 million times because I know. And yes, we've tried melatonin. Thank you. And I don't know. Right now it's just like I'm kind of even checking out. Like we're redoing our guest room to do a little therapy room for my son because he's going to start going to school during the day and have therapy after school. And I need a space for him to do it. And I've just like gone full into that. I've been ignoring emails and today his new therapist, who's a very nice man, he wanted to come do some parent training with us. And I was like, okay, what about this date? And he's like, okay, great. I'll email you that week. And I'm like, well, can I get a time? What time? Like, I need to know these things because I have another child and life and things like this. And he's like, what time works for you? Like, we email back and forth like one
Oh, I
sentence. Like,
hate it.
I'm like, sweetie, I don't have time for this. I'm so exhausted. And then also with my kids and not sleeping and just being frustrated all the time. And I feel bad. Like, I feel bad that like I snap easy on my kids. And I feel bad that like I'm anxious about things, which is making them anxious about things. Like, it all comes back to me, which also sucks. Like, I'm just kind of over it. I don't know if any of that makes sense.
Yes, it all.
You're
Yes,
so
I-
right though, Jane, because they feel it. Like they do.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
it's, you know, but it's so hard. And it's same thing. I'm on a really short rope. And like I said to Kaya's dad, I literally have one nerve. You need to get the off it. Like seriously, I have one nerve left.
But even today, like everything Jesse says is an echo thing, or mimicking someone. And today he like if the TV's not working, he's like, Mom, come change it. And I'm like, he probably does that because of me. And today was a good sign because he like walks over and he goes, oh, this isn't starting right. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's totally me.
I hate
Sorry,
when
kid.
autism brings it back to you in that way. Like it's like
Mm.
looking at a mirror. I'm like, oh shoot.
But I can't be like freaking rainbows all the time. I mean, I wasn't before, let's be honest, but it's just, oh,
What about you, Kimmy?
God, I don't think we have enough time for all that I'm tired of. Let me think of where to start. Okay, I'm tired of people not doing their jobs across all boards. Across
Preach.
all boards. Like
Yeah.
people can't get it straight, like at the hospital. My mother was extremely sick, like pretty much like close call. And she has Alzheimer's and they're clueless. They keep asking her questions. They keep
Oh, hate it.
it's so frustrating. I just had they call it an ISP for my daughter. It's nothing like an IEP, but like it's like the adult version of an IEP. They can't think of goals because they still don't have like a clear understanding of where Alyssa is after she's been there since she's been 22. She's 25, 3 years. Get it together, people. Like, you know, literally they're like, yeah, we're just really short staffed. And sometimes if somebody's with her and she doesn't ask to go to the bathroom, she can't communicate. Of course she doesn't ask to go to the bathroom, you know, and she'll be holding it. And I'm like, this is the stuff that I already tell them over and over and over. And it's so frustrating. It's like, yes, she's prompt dependent. I've told you this multiple times. She does not have a clear understanding of all the words that you say to her. So no, you have to break things down for her and you have to like bring her to the bathroom. She's not gonna go. And I guess she like, even when eating now, like they have to like prompt her to constantly take bites and like, they're trying to figure out a way out of that. I don't know why she does that. She doesn't do that at home, but it's just annoying. It's just the understanding is not there. It's a safety issue. And even with my mom, it's a safety issue. You know what I mean? Like you can't ask her like what medication she can have or can't have. It's like, could you not open the file and look at the chart? Like I know with Alyssa it's tricky because she presents to be more understanding and more aware than she actually is. She's learned how to mask. She's learned how to figure out, even though she doesn't always understand what you're saying. She's very quick at like looking at her surroundings, your face, your voice, what's happening. And she can do it in a millisecond. Like she can do it so fast that like it does really appear. And she says yes. Okay, she says yes, but it doesn't mean she knows what you're saying.
Yeah.
My daughter says whichever you ask first. No or
so
yes.
I had a van
She'll say
driver
no.
ask her if it was okay if she could be left home alone. And she said yes.
Right.
No.
So we
No, the
actually had
answer
a
is no.
So we had a scary situation here. I didn't even get to tell you guys this today. So I'm at work and my brother-in-law was getting her off the van and he calls me at 3:20. She usually gets home around 3 and says, oh, well, this is not home yet. I said, okay, well, sometimes she gets home a little later. It's not unusual. I think it's like Thursday or Friday that it comes. He calls me again at 4. She's still not home. I'm like,
4.
yeah. So she gets out of school at 2:30. So I'm like, this is not normal. So then I'm like, all right, let me call. So I called the van driver. She didn't have her today. Somebody else had her. I called the van company, got voicemails, 2 different numbers because now they're closed. I called the school, like, where is my kid? Like, I called the school and I left I was like, someone needs to call me back. Like, they're closed. Nobody's calling me back. I'm debating on, and I'm trying to call my husband, which I had him on hold, and then he hung up, and I'm trying to make all these phone calls, and I'm starting to get into a panic. All I'm thinking in my mind is like, if she's in a fucking yard somewhere, sweltering, it's 96 degrees here today. Like this, I'm
No.
trying to
Oh,
fight off
God.
tears, and I'm
Of
like, if something
course.
happens to her, I don't even want to know, because everybody will be taken down with me. I'm just telling you now. So then my daughter works with me, so I pull her out of the playground. I run a daycare. That's another thing I'm tired of, but I won't get into that one. And I'm like, I need you in here with me now. Like, I couldn't do all the phone calls myself because everyone, you're on hold, you're doing extensions, whatever. I said, call said brother-in-law, tell him to go into the house and make sure she's not in that house. I was about to call 911. I can't navigate through all this stuff myself. Like, it's too much. She was in my room sleeping.
Oh my
wanna
gosh.
kill- I want to kill. But that means that the van, so he was in his car out in the driveway. I mean,
When did she get dropped off? I mean, what the is this?
so he didn't see her get dropped off, which means there was no adult exchange. So that means they dropped her off and just let her out, and she just went into the house. He's also, because it's like, you're out in the driveway waiting for her. Like, what are you doing? So there's like a lot of wrong things going on at once. So I'm tired of people not being able to do what they're supposed to do. Like, the van should have made sure an adult was there. I look like a psychopath now calling. I was like almost in tears when I was like,
Yeah.
because I don't know
Oh
if
my
everybody
God.
knows this, but like,
Oh my God,
daughter was
wait.
actually left on a van
Oh.
before, was not
Yes.
dropped off at school, was kept on a van for an hour without the person knowing. So it's
This
like,
isn't the first time this has happened. This is
and I'm already
happened
seeing
before.
this. They keep switching the van drivers because of COVID. Like, I don't give a shit about COVID. It's more dangerous to have people that don't understand who these
Yes.
kids are and what they're capable of than them getting COVID. Like, I hate
Yes.
to say it, but that's, that's the more dangerous thing. So that was
No,
extremely
the
irritating.
fact of the fucking matter is your job is to schlep my kid who has
Yes.
additional goddamn needs, and she has a legally binding document called an IXP or whatever. I'm sorry, I am whistle me
It's
up.
not though. There's
No,
not
but
legally
like,
documents like there
okay,
is with
fine.
kids with adults.
I
but-
mean, okay, I do hear that. However, she's leaving someplace that has a privilege of being with her, that should know what she needs and doesn't need. And then they have a company get her from A to B. There's a responsibility. You are bringing special needs people from one place to another. You can't leave them in your damn van. Like, you
I know.
can't skip a stop. You can't
So obviously, I don't know
touch
what
a person.
my brother-in-law was doing that he didn't see her pull up while he was in the driveway waiting for her.
Was he in the
That's
driveway?
annoying.
Was he in the driveway waiting?
Yeah, he was in this. He's always in.
I'm about to pause
He
this
was.
recording and have a
Um,
come to Jesus.
So I don't know.
meeting
He
with
was
it.
probably like looking at his phone. I don't know. I literally couldn't even tell you, because now I look like a psychopath.
No, but
Now my
regardless,
husband-
Kim,
This is one of my favorite
regardless,
parts, though.
she went in without an exchange. And
Yeah.
so,
But
at the
then,
end of the
like,
day,
somebody also brought up the fact that goes, so she just went in. Oh, it was my sister. She goes, she just went in the house and like went to sleep. Didn't care. Nobody was there.
Yeah. She's like walks
I'm
past everybody.
I'm
tired.
like, I guess so. I didn't even get that far in my thought process, but
Let me bring you a little further into the thought process. About 7:30 tomorrow morning, some lady named Betty is about to answer the voicemails from the bus company.
I'm like, where's my daughter? Somebody better call me now. Just kidding. She was sleeping.
She's fine. She's fine.
But
And I
also
was
not.
emailing the director of the program, so she ended up
Oh.
emailing me. She actually texted me and she goes, "Is Alyssa home?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, everything's fine. She's no worries.
Don't worry. She's here.
Just please do your job. That's all I ask."
And also, hey, brother-in-law, if you can hear me, check all the rooms before you terrify me, wreck people's
Wow.
lives for hours. Check the
Could you
bus.
imagine if Kimmy had told us? We would have all been calling that bus place too.
Oh my God, I can't.
And
Give
I,
us the
guys, like,
number.
I almost called 911. Like, I was like, I think I'm just gonna
She's
call.
in
she's snoozing in your bed. Like, I need a nap.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
yeah. Well, and only because it's like, I just was like, okay, at this point, I'm not getting, and this is scary. Like, I
Yeah.
can't get a hold of the van company. I can't
Yeah.
get a hold of the school. So I have her other van driver, the one that she normally would be with. I don't know why she wasn't with her cell phone number. So she was like giving me some emergency number when I got the phone call that she was sleeping. I was
I
just like,
love that she was sleeping the whole time. Oh,
I
Lisa.
love that when the lady text messages you to take responsibility or to check in or to like, have you called the cops yet? You're like, oh yeah.
oh, and she did. She was
Oh.
like, call me back and let me know. Like she was, she's
That's
like, I'm
nice.
concerned. I'm like,
Yeah.
so
That's
am I.
nice.
What about you, Tabs? How you feeling this week? How are you tired of today?
Not good. I'm telling you, not good. I have been through probably 30 hours of evaluations, emails, paperwork, talking to all the people for my 2 children this month. Legitimately calculated the amount of hours that I've spent talking to providers and school. We've been, I don't want to go into the details of Nixon's school experience just because it's complicated and I don't want to freak out. But I'm with you, Jamie. It was hard and I'm tired of like shouting things that other people don't understand, and I'm just burnt out. And that I think, like I was talking to Rachel today, and I think that the gravity of our life with 2 children and navigating the services of 2 kids has finally hit me, just because of so many things are going on this month. And my daughter's in early intervention speech. It went telehealth. I already had to fight to get it in home. Now I have to go through this whole other process to get her with a different provider, which includes paperwork and emails and meetings. And for one freaking service for my daughter who's nonverbal to have speech therapy in person. It's absolutely ridiculous. So it's overwhelming. All of it's overwhelming. My spirit is shaken just from dealing with all of it, and talking about your kids in this landscape where people are asking you over and over and over all the things that they cannot do in order to get the services that they need in order to help them do the things that they cannot do is just maddening. It's super maddening. Haven't been sleeping. It's just stressful. And I don't know, like, it is unrealistic for one person to have to deal with all this stuff. Just unrealistic.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
I feel like we could have a person in the action of it and a person in the behind the scenes of it all the time. Like it would be a full-time job to support the needs, and it would be a full-time job in the first 3 days of the week, and then another full-time job in the second 3 days of the week to like do care and coordination. It's really a lot. And to be doing what I said to you today, to be doing coordination for your son, coordination for your daughter, in addition to drop offs and pickups like parents do, in addition to working, in addition to the extra level of attention needed when you're at home and the day is falling apart at the end of it. Like it's next level evening hard in a special needs home. Like it doesn't matter how severe the needs are. It's like when it's going to hit the fan, it's extra and it's so much, but there's still only one person within you. There's still only this many hours in the day. There's still only, so like how many things can you carry? It's just a lot. It's a lot. I told Tabs earlier, I did not make a choice. We did not adjust our life for me to change from having a career path to being at home. We made all these tweaks along the way to survive and cope and sustain this. And some of the things were easy to get by way of luck or love or whatever. And some of it is painstakingly inaccessible. It's just a lot. It's a lot. Tabs.
Yeah.
It's a lot for all of us. I think parenting is hard and layered like that, but this is notched up,
Yeah.
ratcheted up.
I understand it's my job to educate others about my children, period. That's my job. My job is to educate you on what my kids need, on what I'm asking you for, on what they're doing and what they're not doing. But the gravity of everything being online, paperwork, a packet of intake for every single service that you need to do that's different than the one that you filled out before, and answering the same questions over and over and over again. And really, like, the thing that threw me over the edge was the school process and how taxing on me that was emotionally, and for my son too. I mean, it's not easy for our kids to go through all of this stuff either. And I think that's the part that gets to me the most. I mean, like, if I didn't have to think about my decisions affecting my son's life in a certain way and the things that others are saying about him in a certain way, or my daughter, then I don't think I would have such strong feelings, which is parenting in general. But the choices that we make for our kids, there's a different layer to it than deciding what aftercare is going to look like, or, you know, what school program they're going to go to, because we're basically told where they should be placed, what classroom they should be in, which teacher they should be with, who their peers should be, based on the fact of all the things that are written in a document saying their struggles, which is just emotionally a beat down, hands
It
down.
didn't even occur. 100. I only have one kid, but 100% of my kids are autistic as well.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know any other way. And when James said, yeah, we were talking about school this week, and you said, Amelie starts soon, and I got an email from the principal. It's just like, wait, we've not had meetings. I don't know how to know and trust you. I don't know what your goals are with my kid. I don't know, like, it's so layered. It's so much all the time from every angle that, Carl, it's just weird to think about.
Yeah. Well, the
School being
reason,
like, oh, and then my kid got on a bus
Yeah.
after kindergarten, see you in 12th grade.
well, the thing is that I am fighting with all of my spirit because I love my children so much. And
Mhm.
I want them to have everything that everyone else gets to have. And I will do that sun up to sundown if that's what it takes. But it is wearing me down, people. It is wearing me down. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Again, if people would just do their jobs, Tabitha, you would not
Yeah.
be feeling this way.
Right. And it a lot of it feels adverse, even though it shouldn't feel that way, you know, and that's because of a lot of different reasons, you know. Legally, we've made things complicated because of lawyers. Thanks a lot, my profession. um you know, there's just like, and same with insurance, like you have to do all of these documents and forms and everything because you need to have things paid through insurance, or else you're like going to go broke. And even the stuff that is paid by insurance, you still have to pay out of pocket for it for a certain dollar amount, you know. So I understand all the logical reasons why there's this back end
It's like
business.
so much deeper than that, though. Like, at its root, this is not like a test positive for autism kind of situation. You show, to get even the title, to get the services, to get the thing, to get the, or the label, whatever.
Mhm.
You have to show that you can't. You have to prove that you can't, and you don't have the same capacity to can as the next guy. Like, it's like hard and so negative and focus on this part that, I mean, it's just it just like
Sucks.
Yeah,
it
sucks.
sucks.
Mhm.
I think too, it's like dealing with people who don't always seem to like understand that you just did this with someone else. Like, I mean, so the last 2 weeks we've been getting ready for school, have not had much communication there. I had to like ask for a time for my son to go in to like see the school and stuff, when all the other kindergarteners have like a little kind of like meet the teacher orientation thing. But since he's going into like straight into special ed, like they didn't have anything like that. And then like, this is a really good thing. We got on this program that's going to help us pay for respite, which is amazing. But it's like, I'm jumping through hoops for that. And we're using my mother-in-law for respite. And so I'm communicating with her in the respite like freaking company, where I'm like, why aren't you guys just sending her all the info? Why am I doing this? Like, you're supposed to be helping me. But I'm also like filling out all the paperwork with our caseworker, who's been very nice. But it's like, I do this all the time. Like, just help me, like explain to me what you need. Be kind to me, because I do this all the time. Like, people don't understand how much it wears on you to be constantly talking about your kids and all the things they can't do or do wrong, or all the ways their behaviors are not what they're supposed to be, and filling things out, calling your kid odd or strange or different, like all the freaking time. And there are people out there who do have compassion for it and seem to understand more.
Yes.
There's some people you're like, shut
Even
up.
be
And also,
gentle.
Yes. And how
I don't even
different.
care if you're kind to me. Just like, I'm already crushed, man.
Yes,
Don't
I'm
stomp on
down.
me.
Like, don't give me like guilt me that I'm not trying to help my kid. That's all I'm freaking
Mm.
doing. I'm over these conversations. And just Tabs, when you were talking about all the insurance stuff, doing the school stuff and doing the like medical or clinical or anything like that, it's so different because
So
like
different.
with all the medical stuff, you're held to the insurance. And so you have to like wherever your therapist is has to fill out these reports every so often to validate that your child needs these services, blah, blah, blah. You have to pay copays, figure out what place your insurance takes, blah, blah. With school, it is more of a legal thing. It's like IEP, the school people can only say this and this, and you can only get this good information. Like, so it's so back and forth and all over the place. And I wasn't freaking built for this.
Oh, I know, and I was telling Rachel this earlier too. I have felt this tired and this soul drained before in my life, and I know I'll come out of it the fog. But the gravity of, and I don't think I felt this before since my daughter's diagnosis. This is the first time that I'm feeling like, holy hell, how? Just how? Please tell me how. Like, do we need to have a meeting for you to tell me that we also need to have a meeting to have in-person speech? Like, can this be the meeting on the phone? I'm telling you right now, I don't want to have
Yeah.
a meeting to tell you that I need in-person speech. I need in-person speech. Like, seriously, how many meetings can we do it in one meeting? Give me
Yeah.
the paperwork ahead of time. Let's meet. I'll do that meeting. And then you can tell me what else I need to do. Like, I don't want to have 4 meetings about this stuff. I don't. Yeah.
I mean, that's
I mean,
literally
emails
like,
and phone calls to get to the first and the second and the third and the
Yeah.
fourth and the fifth.
I mean, they were sending my daughter's nanny, her caregiver, text messages and charging me $37.50 a friggin' text message. Listen, I didn't ask you to text her 5 friggin' times a day. Like, you know, and I mean, the company's great. I'm just saying, like, it's bullshit. They want to make a plan, Tabs, to make a plan. There's a plan to have a plan. There's a plan to have a plan. There's no friggin' plan, man. There's
Yeah.
no help.
There's
Like,
no plan, man.
There's no plan, man. Like, but I will say, I want to say something positive.
Yay, please.
Yeah. So Kaya's OT is helping me with this whole transition into her new center. And today we had a couple hour phone call filling out stuff, but Chelsea is building a Kaya folder for them. And she's literally speaking for Kaya in the sense of, when my body gets overstimulated, I need that. She's literally loading them with success for
Amazing.
Kaya. Yeah. She put in
Amazing.
there, a sensory break is not a reward. It's a given. Kaya's body needs movement. And so she put all of these things in there. She lists, tell me her interests, and, Elmo, Chicago Fire, Chicago, like literally, and it's hard, even though it was a positive thing. It was like, you have to load these people because they don't know your child. And although Kaya is verbal, she's not fluid in her language. There's not a lot of back and forth. There's a simple
Conversation.
conversational.
Do they have a transition plan, Jen?
Well, that's what her OT is doing,
That's
because
amazing.
they don't have one. So Chelsea's like, we don't want to set her up to fail. I mean, you just can't. They can't.
Yeah.
Like, where's their safety plan?
Yeah.
Like, what is the plan? What is the plan?
Yeah.
So
no
it was.
plan,
There's no
man.
plan,
Isn't that
man.
good
No
enough?
plan,
But
man.
I'm so thankful to her for that, because this is, out of the scope of really occupational therapy. But she's worked with Kaya since she was 4, and she really knows Kaya.
That's amazing.
She knows about,
That's awesome.
when she's like, you just have to give her that olive branch, and then you have to, if she just want to swing, then, whatever it might be. So she's just preloading it. So I'm very thankful for that.
But isn't the thing, like how Rach was saying earlier, like when you're doing those things, like I'm working on a similar, it's just like a 1-page cover sheet to give at Jesse's IEP about him. But even filling that stuff out, and this might sound totally awful, but sometimes I just sit back and it's like talking about my kid and all the things I love about him and great about it. And I'm like, I hate that I have to do this.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish I didn't have to do it. I wish that like I didn't have to explain my child all the time. I just like yearn for typical sometimes, because
Well,
it's so like, even in the good, it's a little
It's
sad
hard.
sometimes that
Yeah.
that's my good, that's my
Yeah.
level of good, is explaining my kid to someone else. With the money thing, I'm always like, if I ever did win the lotto or something, I don't know if I would pay for all the great services in the world, or if I would just move to a farm and set my kid up for life and
Yes,
just let him be
That's
let him
better,
be
Jane.
free.
So
Let
when
him
you
be
get
let
that
him be
money,
him.
if you could build
Like-
5 farms, please, because we all need to be on a farm.
We're
Yeah.
coming to your compound, lady.
Acreage.
Either
Well,
the
that-
autism
you know?
center or the farm.
Yeah.
Like, it's just all the time. And I feel bad for my son.
Yes.
I feel
I
bad
do
that he has to go through all this all the time.
That's one of the things that I hope people understand that could find us, because we are these fabulous women podcasters together at the table for 5 with no reservations, but we love our children. We talk about our shared experiences as moms, and we feel like we know each other enough to know that it goes without saying, when my heart is broken, when I am exhausted, when I am out of hope, when I am tired from this process, that I am so deeply filled with, feelings I can't even have a word for, that this is my daughter's damn life. I know better because I used to live a different one. My daughter is 6 and she's growing up in a body that doesn't want to wear pants, and it's not funny.
Yeah.
There's squeeze in her pants, and she needs squeeze in a different way, and she needs squeeze in this way, or she can't work her legs. Okay. Like, they will run her away. If my kid, I'm sorry, but if my kid doesn't get what she needs, her legs take her away in front of a car, in a pond. Like, it's a big deal, and it's pressure all the time on us, and it's exhausting, but it's also because our heart is bleeding that this kid can't put their feet on the ground without feeling the fibers of the carpet. Then they have to wear socks, and then they have to go to your normal life school, and then they have to go to your Target that's loud and bustling after, and they have to get there in a car on streets that aren't right. And like, everything is hard. And so if we sound like broken women, we will hold each other up, and we're not like victim mom, autism, exhaustion, woe is me parents, but it's like, this is exhausting because we're watching our kids live this life in your world, and it's just hard.
I say that all the time. I'm like, and
I'm sorry to rant.
No, truth be told, ladies, I had a big old cry session in the shower when I got home from work, because I was at work again and I get the frantic call and there's stuff going on and I have to leave work again. And I'm trying to, like, it was a very busy day at work today and trying to get stuff done. And I just went in the shower and I was just like, this cannot be my life. Sorry, James, a lot of editing to do. Like, how is this
episode?
How is this fair? Like, how is this, like, my kid is in a ball on the couch sobbing. How is this fair? I just sobbed in the shower, just sobbed. And, I think a lot of people don't understand the extensive therapy bills. And I'm just going to give you a little idea. In the last month, I've had a bill for $1,953. Last week was $800. I got hit with a $772 bill today. I mean, it's like, you can't dig yourself out of this hole if you try. It's like, I just paid off for $10,000 feeding clinic 3 years ago. I mean, that goes on a credit card. I mean, there's between that and childcare, which again, my daughter cannot go to a daycare. I don't have that luxury. So I pay someone $25 an hour to be in my home with her, which I am more than happy to do. But do the math, I work full time. I'm literally paying people. I got it. And I'm not the one that's with my kid. So it's like,
I thought that this month too, like, I want my kids to have freedom to be who they are. I want them to have time in the rain. And if they want to wander around and eat, I don't want to force them to sit at a table when they're at home after a long day. I want them to have their feet free in the grass. Like, people are telling you how it should be, but I want my kids to also have freedom to be kids. So it's hard. Yeah.
And then, as much as we want to do that for our kids, which sounds great, and a lot of people think, well, why don't you just let them do that? Because if they come out of their structured routine on any level and it veers from what their day-to-day schedule is, most times it's catastrophic. Like the fallout from it. People, a lot, right, Jen? Like, they just think, well, then just do that a couple days a week. Just let them be free. Well,
but you can't, because you're supposed to be doing all these therapies. Like, Jesse now can do movement therapy, which is amazing. But we don't have time for it. He's going to be at school all day. He's going to have 3 hours of therapy after school. The weekends, we're going to probably be doing swim lessons and other things, like, as a family. Yeah. But it's just like, we don't even have time for like another therapy, like, let alone my kid. Like, it's,
and like, you have another child. So and
I have another child. And like,
you know.
Like today after school, I just let him like watch his freaking Sunny Bunny show a million times because he's about to like lose some of that free time that I don't know if it's going to last. We might not end up doing what we're doing. The plan is right now, but it's just, you feel
lot.
awful.
Yeah.
Like my kid can't be a freaking kid. And I think, I don't know, it's, you feel all that guilt if you're not doing all the things that people
Yeah.
are recommending. You
Yep.
feel like, oh, well, I didn't try hard enough.
It's just like walking a very fine line to like
Yeah.
doing what the experts are telling you to do, doing what like you want to do yourself or what your heart wants you to do, like not letting down your kid, not
Yeah.
taking a chance. And it's not going to make as big of a difference, I think, as we always feel in our head and our hearts, that it's so scary to take that chance because you just don't know. And especially if they're making good progress, then it could set them back, but at the same time, if they're so overloaded and overwhelmed with all this stuff, it's almost like, what's the point at the end of the day of that also?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
If that makes sense. It's like kind of balancing like what, you know what I mean? It's like, and you're just always feeling like you're falling short or not doing enough. And then
Mhm.
you turn around and feel like you're doing too much.
All moms probably feel that way, but it's just such higher stakes. Like literally the program we just got Jesse to in through our state, they're like, well, you need to get on this program now because when he's an adult, it's much easier to just transition to the next program instead of like applying fresh and new as an adult. So I'm like, at 6 years old, I have to do this now. So when he's an adult, like this is affecting the rest of his life already.
12 years from now.
And also like I'm stuck in my state for the rest of my life because my state does have a pretty good services and I'm so grateful for that. I don't want anyone to think I'm unappreciative of that. I'm
Yes,
so
me
grateful for
too.
that.
Arizona, thumbs up.
But it still sucks that we have to do all this over and over again and that we're stuck. I'm stuck where I'm at. I'm in the town I grew up in and I can't leave. I can't afford to live really. Colorado's freaking expensive right now. I can't afford to leave anywhere. I can't afford to move because I'm paying for all this crap all the time. And it sucks.
Yeah, and I think of it like in a neurotypical kid mindset. Like you send your kids to school, then they come home and do homework. And then it would be like, then also the parent has to do homework. And then you have to teach your kid again a second time more homework, even though they've already spent 9 hours of their day doing school and homework. It's the gravity of like what's expected of parents to be therapists, lawyers, advocates,
Dinner
asking the
maker.
right question, mother, I mean, the titles that we hold, like I can't imagine someone who doesn't speak English trying to get their kid an IEP anywhere, or someone who doesn't understand documents or doesn't have the education to read something because they never had to before, or whatever the case may be. Like
ultimately, you can't imagine somebody that doesn't know how to ask for help. Like it's
exactly.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, like, you don't, I was that person.
I was too. I
Like,
didn't know
I
who to
didn't
ask
know,
or what
like,
to say.
when they told you no, that there was like other options. I mean,
Right.
this was with my younger daughter, and she doesn't have autism, but she has ADHD, so it's not quite the same, but still, my daughter with autism got help. My daughter with autism, I had no problem with her IEPs. Like, it was a given. Like, there was really no other option for them to do. But with Lexi, it was a constant fight, and she never got what she needed. But I didn't know. Like, when they said no, I was like, well, okay, they said no. Like, I didn't know that you could take all these other avenues. Like, I wish I knew now.
Like to see him say no to you now, Kimmy.
Exactly.
You should go back and talk to those people now. Yeah.
You could go back in time.
It's like people don't know this. This is the thing. People don't know what their rights are. People don't know that it just doesn't end at that IEP meeting with them saying no, but they lead you to believe that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
so
and
it's
also
like,
being told all your rights, like maybe not the same day, but pretty soon after your child was just diagnosed with a lifelong disability, and you're sat at some table and they're like, okay, you have this right, and just sign this paperwork saying that we told you that you have these rights. You're not going to remember those.
Or you are so, like, I know for me, I will forever have guilt on her kindergarten year. I was not just a new school parent, new to the school. I was new to the autism world. So it was like a double whammy, and I didn't want to step on any toes. And, my daughter was 100%, she didn't speak in kindergarten, not a word. And so I'm sending my vulnerable child into school, and an awful experience. And let me tell you, when I found my voice, it roared pretty hard, but it was a rough road to get there. And so you've got all these things, like you said, Jamie, with school and all those hurdles, and it's tough. Yeah, you may not know where I was scared to ruffle feathers. I mean,
yeah, because you don't want the person who's going to be alone with your kid all the time, who can't communicate with you,
yes,
effing hate you and hate your kid.
yes.
But
Or
the
blame
other
more
issue
on
is
you.
people
Yeah.
just don't care, or not the people that are making these decisions. I'm not saying the people that have the direct care with the children, but the people, they care about their budgets, they care about saving money, they care about doing what makes more sense fiscally. And it's a harsh reality to realize that, but that is what they care about at the end of the day. They don't care about your individual child. They don't care if they get put into the right program, because if they can get away with putting them in something in the school, and if they can, and if you don't know better, they're gonna do it. And that's a very harsh reality. Like, and I
Well,
know
you
there's probably
lose-
people going, no, I'm telling you, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. And that's their job. That's their job. That's what they're expected to do. I mean, I've had teachers tell me things behind administration's back, but when you get to the meeting, the teachers are silent. They don't want to lose their job, you know?
Yep.
So
Like we were asking at the beginning of kindergarten for her to be in level 4. We could not get it because in the school system, you have to fail out of the level you're in or show that it didn't work. That's how they say in the language, right? Like we had Seeley placed in level 3. I'm paraphrasing our wonderful teacher, if you're listening, which I'm sure you're not, but if you ever do, we are placing Seeley Flanagan in level 3 classroom, or did in this school year. And with these accommodations, we could not meet her needs. We are suggesting a level 4. You have to show all of this suck. That, like, what that language really truly is that my kid threw a filing cabinet, another kid maybe has to get hurt, another teacher has to get kicked in the face, another parking lot situation has to happen. And I do know from talking to a more level-headed friend named Kim McIsaac during my moments of rage in this conversation, that she would say special ed teachers know that they're going to get kicked. Special ed teachers know that they're going to have to haul down a hallway with their Nikes on. You don't get to wear cute shoes when you're not teaching the 3rd grade general kids, right? Like you book it for Seeley. That's just what a level 3 teacher does. Oh, well, I'm her fucking mother, and I know how hard every single thing has come to us and her. And I feel like you should see who she is, what her struggle is, and say, hey, we got this level 4, Lady Jane. Let's go get right. Well, we have time to do it, because we know you're going to rage with the hormones and it's going to be the re-fucking. So like, let's lay a foundation. I just wish that people could want the higher good because they believe in our potential as a family and a unit and a community and a big, rather than have to put up with giving us more to accommodate a goddamn basic need. I'm really sorry about all the whistling during this episode, ladies and gentlemen. It's a passionate, tired AF.
I just
And
want to
that's
note
really-
too that these moments come in waves. Like your
Yes.
kid's doing great and you're a lot more positive about things, or you get a great teacher or therapist and you're positive. But we're all in the suck right now, so it sounds really bad.
Yeah. Well, and I do want to say there's people that look you in the face and say, I know this is a hard decision for you.
Agreed.
I know that this is,
Not a job.
I
for two
can't
people.
imagine what you're going through, or not a job for 2 people. There are these people in these systems that really do care about us as parents and about our children,
But our
and
kids.
and about our kids, and wholeheartedly want to learn who they are and what they're about, but there's also a big giant tree of branches of other things that you have to deal with. And sometimes you just cannot respond to an email, or you can't talk to someone on the phone for the 100th time and keep your composure. It's impossible.
There's the
people.
keep the composure.
But the thing is, it's like Tabitha said earlier, you're fighting for their basic needs. That's where the difference lays
Right.
between what you deal with in the special needs world to what you deal in with the neurotypical world, or not as much need. You're fighting for basic needs, which
It's
nobody
not
should
like
have to fight
hockey
for
or
basic needs.
football. It's speech or occupational therapy.
Or it's not like more time to complete homework assignments so you get a better grade and are more successful. It's functioning. It's safety awareness, it's life skills. I mean, basic things that like sometimes our kids have to be taught these things that all these other kids already know. They don't get taught them at school.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I'm paying $7,000 a year for those skills to be taught.
Yeah,
For
exactly.
the record,
Yeah.
because public education was not designed for my daughter. Period.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna pay another.
So it's like you're not, it's not
$7,000.
like you're fighting for, you know what I mean, to have all these bells and whistles. You're fighting for their very basic needs to be met, which becomes very taxing and frustrating.
And for what every parent wants, which is for our kids to be able to go out into the world as adults and have as much resources and strength and skills as they can to live whatever life they want to live once they're doing that as an adult person, whether that's in our house, whether
All I
that's
can hear is like, once she's moved to that wing or to
yeah,
the basement,
yeah, whether
or
it's
to the casita.
whether it's the casita, whether it's the basement, whether it's their own apartment, whether it's a shared space with others, you know, whatever that looks like.
Well, and it would be a lot easier for us if we could take
Lottery farm.
the emotions out of it, but
Yes.
like we can't
Yes.
because we're their moms and
We haven't
Yes.
slept
So
in
upset
15
when you-
years.
well, no, it's upsetting when you know what I mean? Like it's upsetting. It's like I feel like if we didn't have to have that part of it, we could just navigate it a corporate like
Well, and that's the thing that makes me personally so pissed off at myself. And I can't help it. I get so angry and so passionate and so like emotional, which makes sense.
because
But
it's our baby.
yeah, it's my babies. But I can work in systems and fill out forms and talk to people about other people's needs night and day. Comes to my kids and I can't freaking get a sentence out without being like, what the living hell, people? Like, do I have to scream? Do I have to cry? Like, what's it going to take over here?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, in turn gives me, I think, more empathy for my clients and more empathy for the people that I'm working with. But it also is like so personally challenging for me because I'm usually like a very even keeled person for the most part. And I just can't. I really can't.
And then what happens is you have a few of these bad experiences and then you're like so fast to be on the defensive, you know?
Yeah.
Even though the next
Great.
time
You
it could
talking
not
about me,
even
Kim?
it couldn't even be something that's not even that bad, but it's like you're ready to pounce, you know, you're ready to like
A
I think
panther.
what's real is that it's so often, either as the parent or as a result of the behavior, the mix of things that are going on at home, you're in fight, flight, freeze, or call a friend, collapse. Like this is a reactive life. Like I hope, I don't know. Is this supposed to be an inspirational
No.
episode?
I don't know. but
I'm
so, like,
hoping
I thought
not.
you
If
said
you
Bitch
just
with
found
us.
out about
Comic
autism and you
relief.
just found this shit, I am
Yeah.
sorry.
This is true life, people. This is our break it
Holler at
down.
your ladies in 99
Everyone's
days.
tired this week. We all happen to be in the same mind space of being exhausted about life this week. So we're giving you the real. We don't feel like this always. This episode is specifically titled How Tired is the Mom and You?
Yeah.
So if you're not tired, just pass on through. No reservations is coming next.
Nope.
Nope, no reservations is not coming.
Oh, let me strike that.
She's tired
Something
AF.
else is coming next. Storytellers.
And boy, are we gonna be happy people. Happy people.
What's coming next is a beautiful storytellers episode. Stay tuned. We're going to be writing letters to certain moms of experiences that we've gone through. A letter to you coming next.
Bye.
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 thank you for listening.
Come back next time.
Please come back.
Try us again.
Thanks for joining us at the table for the third episode of our fifth series, The Woman in Me. If you are enjoying the podcast and where you're listening allows, please remember to rate and review us. To join in on the conversation, make sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. You can also email us at table45podcast@gmail.com. Coming next, we have a special storytime episode, and we'll see you there. Bye.